Hey guys, it's me again, yeah, with another build. So today, what we're going to build is we're going to use Arduino Nano to control stepper motor. Now, in case you don't know what stepper motor means, a stepper motor is like it's a normal motor, but this time now it doesn't just rotate around the clock. It moves by steps, meaning each steps is precise and you can use it to control a lot of things. Now, an instance of a stepper motor that they use to control is what we call 3D printer. Now, a 3D printer is a tool used to print out plastic related materials, all right, and it's built with this stepper motor. So I'm going to show you how to control it by showing you the connection, writing the code, and then watching it control by itself. So get your gears. What you just need is your Arduino Nano, your stepper motor controller. I'll put it on the screen so you can know which one to get, and your stepper motor. Yeah. So this one runs from 5 to 12 volts. All right. So there are so many different types of stepper motors, but get this one if you want it to work for you, and then you need your connection wire. So let's get to it. All right, guys. Now we're going to make the connection. We have our Arduino Nano in place with our breadboard. Then we have this here. So this is our stepper motor driver. If you can see it, all right. These are stepper motor drivers. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect this part to the stepper motor. So let me get the stepper motor real quick. So this is it. You're going to connect this part to the stepper motor. So you place your hand this way and then you connect it like so. Alright. So this is connected now. So now we're going to connect this to this. So first of all, let's connect the power pin. Alright. So if you look by the side here, if you see by the side here, you can see 5 volts. You can see you can see plus here, you can see minus. So the plus one, now we're going to use this as the positive wire. So connect it here so you can see. All right. Now here it says 5 to 12 volts. So what you're going to do, you're going to connect it to the 5 volts pin of the Arduino Nano. So this is your Arduino Nano here. We'll connect it to the VIN pin here. So let me see if I can bring this up so I can see. So connect it to the VIN. I can see the VIN pin of the Arduino Nano. So connect this here. Then the next thing you do is to get the ground pin. So this is the ground pin, and we're going to connect it to this pin here. You can see the pin. Then we'll connect it to the ground here. Alright, so let me show you. Hopefully you can see it where it's connected to the ground pin. Alright, perfect. So then the next thing we are going to do is connect this 4 in pins. This pin is here. In 1 to in 4. We are going to connect it to the Arduino Nano from pin 8 to pin 11. So pin 1 goes to pin 8, pin 2 to pin 9, and so on. Alright, so let me get all this in place. So now we connect this here, we connect this here, we connect this here, and we connect this here. Alright, so I've connected the 4 pins here. Then remember, I said that pin in 1 is to pin 8. So in 1 here is the white pin. So we connect it to pin 8. So from our jumper, here we have it here, pin 8. The next one is pin 9. The next one is pin 10. And the next one is pin 11. So you can see we've connected it perfectly. Alright. So we connected it perfectly here. Now we're going to move to the code section and then write the code. And then we'll get back to it and see it work in real time. Hi guys, welcome to the code section of this video. Now I'm going to write the code to connect to our stepper motor here. So the first thing, which is what we normally do, is to include. So we are including what the stepper library. So we are including stepper.h. Alright, so this is the first step. Then the second step, we are going to define the steps. So we are going to define steps 100. All right, 100 steps. All right, then the next thing is we are going to set up our stepper class. So stepper. All right, then we set up the steps. All right, then we set up the pin. So we have pin 8, pin 9, pin 10, and pin 11. All right, so this is where all our pins are connected. Pin 8, pin 9, pin 10, and pin 11. This is why it's very important we follow the current design of the code so that the code and the circuit will work. So we set up our previous states. So previous is 0. All right, so in terms of voice setup, we have to set up our stepper speed. So stepper dot set speed. So we set it to 100. Now you can try so many different speed here, but I found 100 to be more smooth. I can try different speed if you want. So that's the first thing we need to do. The second thing is now we have to define a variable called value and then read the value from it. So analog read. All right, so read 0. So stepper dot step var minus previous. Now, so set previous here to be equals to value. Now, the one thing I want to say is this now here is based on the if you have a reading from any value, let's say you're reading from a sensor or anything, so at pin 0, so you're going to read it and then step it here, but it's fine. Let's test the code. Sorry, val. Hopefully it compiles faster. Alright, so don't compile it, meaning the code is correct. So now what we're going to do now is we are going to connect our Arduino to it, and then we are going to see it work live. So I'm going to connect my Arduino to it now in a bit.
So I've connected my Arduino Nano to the board and I've uploaded the code. So if you can see here, you can see it turning. Maybe you can see it clearly. Let me do it this way. It's turning. So that's how you can actually control. That's how you can actually control a stepper motor. So let me do it again. So you can see it turning. So you can try to temper with the speed and then see if it can turn faster or slower. So you can see how fast you can turn it and how slow you can turn it. But mind you, it draws power, so while you're turning, be careful while you're turning. So next, now we're going to control the stepper motor using ultrasonic sensor, but not in this video, we'll do that in the next video.